Welcome back, everybody. Sive is here with ForexPeaceArmy.com. Let's, as usual, take a look at the Forex market. So let's go right to the technical picture. It's not many things to update today. In fact, recently we said that euro currency should drop more. It's just because the performance that we saw a couple days ago in this session, it was not naturally bullish. So this is actually a very vital thing when you could identify things when they are going wrong. So when you see that the action that stands on the market breaks the normal natural behavior of the market mechanics of the bullish market. So once we have identified it, it immediately tells us that there probably will be some extension down. We could argue about the depth of this extension. Yesterday we talked about 117 area, but market has dropped slightly lower. It actually not as important. But currently, this action started, and as we also talked about this in the weekend, in recent few reports, we have a concern about liquidity with the United States dollar liquidity. And if this performance triggered by this driver, this factor, I wouldn't be surprised if we'll see significantly lower retracement. This also comes from the technical picture, because on the big charts on the weekly and the monthly, market has reached very important and big targets, and actually naturally market should show some respect to these targets. But even 30% retracement here will be below 113 area. It will not be some really menace to upside tendency that we have on the high time frames. So whatever it will be, currently we're most interested in what we're gonna do in today's session. So here market stands around 50% support, 1654. Market is not at the oversold. You can see it could keep moving slightly lower, and I would stay focused on the 1625 area, because this is the OP target of this downside ABCD pattern. So it stands in some kind of an agreement. Actually, it stands between the two levels, 618 and 50% support. Once market will complete it, we will get a kind of the guideless triple to buy. So from that standpoint of view, some minor pullback here, some respect can happen. That's why if we are talking about taking the short position, it would be better to wait for this bounce and consider any rally that will happen for possible selling later, maybe on the next week. If you're a scalp trader, you could drop your time frame more and watch for bullish reversal patterns around this area. Once you will get it, you could try and take more accurate long position with a minor bounce here. This might be the target. At the same time, a final thing that probably you could see here, it might be not quite obvious yet, not quite evident, because it's too few candles with this ABCD pattern, but it seems that the CD leg stands slightly faster. So it shows some acceleration compared to AB leg, and it tells that after the OP target will be respected with the pullback, action down to the 115, and where the XOP, I don't have it on this chart, but the next extension will be around 115 area, and market could keep going lower. In fact, market already stands in the previously trading range that has been broken recently, so you can see it's between 116, 117.20 area. So if you plan here some lines, you will see that this was some sideways consolidation first before upward action happened. Now market drops down, so in fact it stands in a range where it could flirt freely down to this 116 area, and from that standpoint of view, this scenario, well, quite real, so it could happen. On the 4-hour time frame chart, I do not see, that's by the way this range that I'm talking about, I do not see something special on the 4 time frame chart. You can see butterfly worked great, market even moved to the 1618 extension, but currently it doesn't matter too much, so because we're based currently our plan on some different patterns. But still, you can see this scenario that we discussed yesterday has been completed. On the hourly chart, you could see that our initial ABCD pattern target, final target XOP, an extension, stands precisely at the same point as the daily ABCD, 1625. It's also here. From that standpoint of view, if we calculate the extension of this most recent upward action to the downside is usually what we do with the butterflies, right? So you could see that the extension of this XA swing to the downside, well, gives 1621, which is actually very close to all these targets. What I'm hinting on is that here might be some butterfly to be formed. So for instance, if we will get it, it might be accurately finalize the current leg of the downside action. Once the butterfly will be formed, this is also will be the bullish, potentially bullish reversal pattern. Let's say it could shift into hand and shoulders. So that's what the actually scalp traders has to keep an eye on. Have to keep an eye on. So in towards this is our plan for now. Once the pullback will start, we will see the shape of this pullback. Maybe also will be some ABCD, especially if it will be based on the hand shoulders, for example. And then we can calculate the resistance areas where we consider next potential chance for taking the short position. So that in towards our view currently on the euro currency. As you can see, nothing really difficult in the current picture. Just be patient and wait for particular levels that we have specified and particular patterns. That will make overall process much easier and more reliable. So that's all for now. See you as usual in the weekend and next week.